Hi everyone, welcome back. Thanks for joining me for another episode of Elliness Crafts. So I am, for those of you who are joining me for the first time, Lorraine. I'm coming to you from Kent in the UK, and yeah, I've noticed that I've had quite a few new subscribers to the channel, so welcome. I think a lot of you have come over from Ali of Little Drops of Wonderful podcast. I know she mentioned me in a vlog and in her podcast, so thanks for that, Ali. If you've come over from another page, then another channel, then please do let me know in the comment section so I can go and thank those people or that person personally. It's always nice to have new people come and join. So yeah, hopefully you will find something that you enjoy watching here. Just so you know, I try to do show notes and leave them in the description box below the video, so you will be able to find links to patterns that I mention in the description box below. Also, I try to do as well as I can at listing the podcasts that I refer to and shops that I refer to below the video too. There will also be links for how to contact me. I am on Ravelry and Instagram as Elliness Crafts. That will be in the box below the video, so do check out the box below the video, because there may be things that I put in that box below the video that I might not mention in the video because I might have forgotten. So check out the description box below the video for all that information down there. First off, what I'm wearing, I am wearing the Breeze tank top by Amanda Lilly. I made this a while ago. I'm going to get up so I can show you what it looks like. It's just an ordinary tank top, really quite lightweight. I think it was King Cole bamboo yarn that I made it out of, can't remember, but that will be in the links below the video. So in this video I will be talking and showing you knitting, crocheting, cross stitching and some diamond painting, because I mentioned that in my last video and I am starting to get into that. So if you're interested in seeing any of those things, then do stay tuned. First off, I am going to start with my admin kind of section. So I have in the Ravelry group a sock along going on called the Sock It To Me make along. So in that make along you can show off your socks that you've been making. It will end on the 31st of August this year, so do get your entries in by then. You can enter via Ravelry group or via Instagram. On Instagram you need to use the hashtag ENCSockItToMe and then tag me, as in tag Elliness Crafts, so that I can see that you're entering that this sock along. It's for finished socks only, so I would hope that by the end of August you would have finished them, and only the finished socks will be eligible for prizes. So do get your socks started, and with plenty of time to finish them by August, hopefully. There is a chatter group over there, so you can talk about your socks and what you've been doing, what you've been enjoying, any of that good stuff. You can do all that chatter in the chatter thread and put your finished objects in the finished objects thread. So for those of you that are not doing socks, I have a show it off thread, so you can show off whatever else you're making, and that is over on the Ravelry group. So yeah, there's a few things in there at the moment. I've been sharing a few things that I've been working on that are not socks, and I'm hoping for some inspiration for patterns from you guys over there. It's always great to have like a little bit of chatter to exchange ideas and maybe give some tips on different ways of doing things, all that good stuff in the show it off thread. So go on over there and check that one out too. Lastly, I think I'm going to do this at the end of the video. I mentioned in my Instagram, in an Instagram post very recently, that I have a ton of, well not a ton, I've got a handful of old magazines. Sorry, where was I? So yeah, so I've got a handful of magazines on knitting and crochet magazines, and they have patterns inside them, so I thought that rather than just throwing them away, it might be an idea to offer them up to my viewers and see if anybody is interested in taking them off my hands, and I can just post it to you. So if you're interested in seeing the magazines, I think I'm just going to start with one magazine at a time per video, or possibly two. We'll see when see how long this video goes on for. We'll see at the end of the video how much I've got time for. If not, I might have to just do it in a separate video. But that will be hopefully at the end of this video. So stay tuned for that if you're interested in seeing what are in the patterns in those magazines. So let's get into finished objects. So my first finished object was the zigzag socks, and I'm calling them on my Ravelry page zigzag number 3. I don't have any of the yarn left over to show you, but I'll insert a picture of the socks up there because I took a picture before I sent them out. They have been gifted. They were knit using King Cole zigzag yarn in the colour Wild Orchid, as alongside Stylecraft 4-ply yarn in the colour Raspberry. I also used some leftover yarn which I got from Becky at Back to Blighty, and that was in the colourway An Evening on the Pier. So I was trying to use up leftover yarn. I showed you in my video, the last video, that I was trying to use up some leftover yarn, and I managed to get like 2 pairs of socks out before that, and I was just trying to use up the last bit of that, and then literally the socks were so small. They literally, I think they turned out to be about a size 2, UK size 2. So I gifted them to a friend who was going to gift them on to someone she knows who is a size 2/3, I think, and hopefully they fit. I haven't heard anything as to how they fit, so hopefully they did. So that was that. Then I started to get into a bit of crocheting, and I had a look through a crochet book that I've got. I don't know where it is at the moment. I think I've given it to somebody to use, and I started to make some dishcloths. I've been trying to use up scraps of yarn that I have, or leftover yarn that I have, in a little box under my desk, because it's been sat there for a long time and I didn't know what else to do with it. And most of I had a big ball of bamboo cotton yarn by King Cole, and one was DK weight and one was 4-ply, and the 4-ply yarn I've just made dishcloths like this out of them. I actually made dishcloths out of all of the cotton yarn, so, but this is the 4-ply version. I think this colour was called Wisteria, but I will insert, I'll put up there if I'm incorrect on that. But this is what I've done. It's called closed shell stitch. It's just made up of, in US terms, single crochet and double crochets. In UK terms, double crochets, these ones, and and treble crochets. So it's just rows and rows of that. Hopefully you can see that. This is just one that I've kept. I gifted the other bundle to my friend because she mentioned that she needed some, so I gifted them to her because I was just trying to use up the yarn, really didn't really need them. So yeah, this one I have kept for myself. So that's a little bit of crochet. Then I went on to do some more socks because I've been in a bit of a sock mood, and I did finally got round to doing the Country Garden socks, which is a pattern by Ellie of the Craft House Magic podcast, and this is what it looks like. That's what the socks look like. I also have used her yarn, and I have 2 colours. I didn't do it in one colour, I've done 2 colours, so I'll show you the socks first, how they've turned out. Get them on my blockers. I enjoyed making these, but this time round I feel like I was knitting for the end result rather than for the enjoyment of the process. So this is what the socks look like. I've done 2-tone socks with a contrast cuff and toe. In hindsight, my daughter was saying to me I should have just done this little section in the pink and then that bit in the blue, so I would literally have just had a striped trellis of pink hair and then blue. Too late, because I'd already started, and when I do my socks I tend to do them in tandem, and so I'd started both of these sections, and then she mentioned it after I'd done that, and I thought that would have been a good idea, but then I wasn't about to rip it back. So yeah, so that's what I've done. So it's got a lovely pattern here, trellis type pattern here, with little kind of patterny bits there. It's a paid for pattern, so I can't give too much away, but it turned out really nicely. Really enjoyed it. The yarn colourways that the yarn is by Craft House Magic herself, Ellie, and I used up all the blue yarn. This is the Born to Run colourway. So I've used up all of that, so I can't show you what that looks like in the ball, but I do have the pink one, which is in the colourway I'll Be There For You. That's the colourway for the pink yarn, and that is her logo, Craft House Magic, and that's what it looks like in the ball. They're Stellina based ones that I've got. You can get them in plain without Stellina, and these are merino nylon. superwash merino, nylon, stellina. So 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon and 5% stellina. And I love the way they look. I can't wait to wear these. I've been holding on to them so I can show you before I wear these. So finally, yay, another one off of my Make 9 list. So yeah, so that's that. Then, I didn't have any issue with that. No issues with those socks at all. Pattern's quite straightforward. I'd definitely recommend it. Then I moved on to another scrappy project. I was trying to use up some Aran weight yarn that I had, and I had like from a blanket that I made early on in the year. I finished off, no, when did I give it to them? I think I gave it to them in December, so I must have finished it just before December. So it may be in that December podcast. So yeah, so I had like a dark, really dark navy blue, then this grey, and then a different tone of blue. I'm not sure why, but I think I just couldn't get hold of the original blue. So anyway, so I thought, I've got little bits left over, I don't know what to do with them. Make a hat. So I've chose the Jason's Cashmere hat by Melissa Thompson. All the info is in my Ravelry page, and it's just basically a mixture of leftover yarns, and I'll show you what it looks like on. Fits really nice, double brim, good to go. So this is ready for gifting. So that was a nice scrappy project. Then I moved on to, what did I do? Jelly rolls. So the jelly rolls socks were on my Make 9 list, but I decided, because I wanted to use up the blue from this sock, and I really wanted to just make more or less like a plain blue kind of sock out of them, I thought I'd have a go at using the jelly rolls, because using the jelly rolls pattern, because they're really ankle socks or shorty socks. This is what they look like. That's the pattern. It's a paid for pattern again, so I can't share too much information on this, but I can definitely show you what they look like. I'm really pleased with how they turned out. They are being stored in my, what's it called, Pearl and Plum bag, which I won in a giveaway from the Pen Hook and Needles podcast. I really like drawstring bags, you can probably tell. You probably already know. So I have made two sets of two of these socks out of this yarn, and what I used was the blue yarn, the Born to Run by Craft House Magic, and then I had some silver yarn. Let me just show you one pair at a time, because it's a lot easier. So this is what the first pair look like. So this is West Yorkshire Spinners yarn, which is typically, where is it? I have that, I've got a ball of it somewhere. There it is. That's what it looks like. I will show you the label. It's just a plain grey yarn, doesn't have a colourway name, just a number. And the yarn is, it's just described as 75% wool, 25% nylon. It's West Yorkshire Spinners signature 4-ply, and that's the info there. That's just for the grey sections. So this is that yarn. Then I have my Born to Run yarn here, and this one is some leftover yarn that I had from a Zalba Ball Crazy yarn, which I used for a pair of socks. I think in last video I showed you that. But yeah, that's, so I've used leftover yarns for this. So I've got, this bit is Zalba Ball, the top bit here, and that bit Zalba Ball. Then this is Born to Run, the Stellina from Craft House Magic. Then you got the West Yorkshire Spinner yarns for the heels and toes, and Zalba Ball again here, and a mixture of the Born to Run and the West Yorkshire Spinners yarn there. And they are so comfy. I really like these. I've tried them on. They have a slightly different shaped toe to what I'm used to. I followed the pattern to the letter, and I used my 2.25mm needles, which was as per the pattern. I followed the pattern to the letter with, not with this one actually, with my second pair. The ribbon section on this is slightly different to what the pattern stated, but I prefer this one in terms of the ease of knitting it. There were, I think, 2 options for, it's quite a good pattern if you want something interesting. So you've got your colour work here, you've got your colour work here if you want it. You have 2 options for the heel flap. then you have two different options, or three options for the ribbon section. 3 options. And for my one, I used, for this pair of socks, I used option 2 for the heel flap, and then a variation of option 2 for that stripy section. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the second sock more because I think I knew what, the second pair more because I think I knew what I was doing then, and I was a bit more comfortable with the pattern. The first pair were these, and I'll show you. Let me get these on the blockers. You see what these look like. Same colour yarns, only 2 colours this time because these were the first ones. So the Born to Run and the West Yorkshire Spinners. So you can see I've got the contrasting heel cuff here and contrasting colour heel cuff, or colour work should I say, and then this section here, this stripy section, is slightly different to the other one. This is as per pattern, and the other one was a slight variation to the pattern because I found this bit required a lot more concentration and I wasn't really ready to concentrate. I made a mistake, I can see it here, on this sock with the pattern, and when it came around to the second sock, I couldn't be bothered to think too hard on this, and I just wanted to do something plain and straightforward. So that's what I did with these. But I really enjoyed the pattern. I will be making these again. They do fit really nicely. I have flat feet, but the a lot of people I noticed on the comments on Ravelry or in the project notes said that where the colour work is, they felt it was a little bit tight on their feet, and so they made their own modifications to the colour work section here. I didn't do that at all, and I think they're fine for me. But then I'm not sure if the fact that I've got flat feet has anything to do with that, but I like these and I can't wait to wear them. So I will definitely be making more of these. They were pretty quick to knit up as well, and I think they're quite trendy, and they're definitely in my colours because they're blue. So yeah, so that is the Jelly Rolls socks. Then after that, I finished up my old shale blanket even. So that one was partially done when I filmed the last video, and now it is complete. I should have hung it up here, shouldn't I? So it is totally falling over myself. Excuse that. That's what it looks like. That's the old shale blanket. Move it this way a bit and you can see it. It's just like, what do they call it? It's kind of like a shell stitch pattern where it goes down and up like that. It's got that wave in it, and the garter stitch at the bottom section here. The pattern was something that I found on somebody's Ravelry page, and I followed that, and this is the second one I've made. This time I made the adjustment of making more stitches, more garter stitches at the beginning of the knitting, and more garter stitches at the bottom and top, so that the border was slightly thicker. So this is what it looks like close up. You will have seen it in the last video. The yarn that I've used is Karen Cakes. Let me see if I can get a ball band. Karen Cotton Cakes in the colour Rose Whisper. That's the label for the yarn, and that is the colourway, and I'm really pleased with it. So I had 2 left over from the last blanket that I made, and that's why I made this. And I don't really know, I haven't decided what to do with this one yet, who to gift it to, but I'm glad it's finished and I have no more left over. I've used all of it, so I'm really pleased with that. No more cotton cakes to wonder about. So yeah, I was actually thinking that it would be nice to have it in a blue colour, maybe for a baby boy, or maybe just for myself. It was quite nice to work on the colder evenings, having it covering my lap, and kept me comfortable. So yeah, so that is my old shale blanket. I have details of the pattern stitch in my Ravelry notes if you're interested in doing that one. Then I moved on to some cross stitching. I've been doing quite a lot of cross stitching lately. I've been really enjoying that, and I finished up the one that I showed you last time. So it's the Bee Bunny cross stitch by Bothy Threads, and this one is called Sewn with Love. That's what it looks like. I have finished it, and this is what it looks like. I've done all the back stitching. I have made some mistakes on the pattern itself, but I don't think they're hugely noticeable. I'm not a perfect cross stitcher, but you know, I do think it came out really well. Now I've just got to decide what to do with it. It needs a bit of a wash because it's a little bit grubby around here, so it needs a little bit of a wash. And then I lost the little beads that you're supposed to use to stitch on the pin heads for the pin cushion. This is a little pin cushion and there are pins stuck in it, and I lost the beads that form the pin heads on this. So I contacted Bothy Threads and asked them if they would send me a little a couple of beads so I can finish it off, and they kindly said they would. And then just as I was sitting down to film this video, what did I find? The beads and the needle. I feel really bad now because I actually contacted them to ask them to send me them, when in actual fact I found them and they're here. So I don't know, but yeah, they're very personable via email, which I like. And this is the second pattern I've done by them. Very easy to understand. You get in the pattern the threads on this little thingamy with the symbols. You get the instruction sheet, which is, I can't really show you because it's paid for. You get the instruction sheet and that for the normal stitching, and then you get another instruction sheet for the back stitching. So you get two instruction sheets, one to follow for the colour placement, and for the cross stitching, and then the other bit for the back stitching, which is what brings out the detail. I don't enjoy the back stitching very much at all because it takes a long time and it takes a lot of attention to detail for me, and I end up sometimes just going off tangent and doing what I feel like doing, what looks okay. So back stitching is not the best bit of it for me, but I do like it when it all kind of starts to, I like the way it looks when it's been back stitched. It actually comes to life. So yeah, so that is the Sewn with Love Bee Bunny cross stitch by Bothy Threads, and I'm pleased that that one's done. Now that I've found the beads, I can actually completely finish that off and then give it a little a gentle wash. So that's that. Then I've got diamond painting that has been finished off. So I had a diamond painting that I ordered from Diamond Dots via the Wool Warehouse website, and that one is called Relax a Bear. And my daughter, I'm not going to claim any what's the word? I'm not going to claim that I did it because I left it to my daughter to do, basically. And I did post a picture on my Instagram page, but this is what it looks like. This is the Relax a Bear diamond painting project that my daughter's done. It's by Diamond Dots, and hopefully you can see the shimmer on that. So the bear and the heart is all beaded, and this bit here is just the canvas. So that's a kind of close-up of it. You can see the sparkle when I get it close, but she did so well with this. I was really pleased that she enjoyed it as well. It took her a little while, not long enough mind you for the price of the painting, but she did it really well, and she is now on to another one. But yeah, I wanted to show you that that was her finished one, and she really enjoyed that. So now we've just got to find a frame for it and hang it up in her room. Then diamond painting, for those that don't know, is kind of like cross stitching but with the little beads. I'll show you. So the beads come in little packets, and the beads look like this. Hopefully you can see there what the beads look like. Let me show. So they're really tiny little beads, and you just the picture, there you go, the picture is printed onto a canvas with lots of little symbols, and you then stick the beads on in the correct place. So with a pen like this, a little dotting pen I guess. And anyway, just to avoid making this really long, so I managed to, my friend sent me a diamond painting for me to practice on, and this one, I think it's called New Dream Night Starry Sky, and this one I have finished myself. I will claim the praise for this one, and it turned out really well. I did enjoy doing it, possibly not as much as doing cross stitching, but I think it turned out quite well. You can see the shimmer in the picture there. There is in the distance a couple here on the beach. This is the beach and this is like the night sky, and I think it turned out quite well. It's not, the size is 40 by 30 centimetres, so I'm told that when you're doing diamond painting, the bigger print you get, the better the kind of pixelation of the picture is going to be, or more definition you get. So if you're interested in doing any diamond painting, then do a little bit of research first. So yeah, I'm quite pleased. This actually comes up really good on camera. It looks really good on camera. Wow. So yeah, I've only just finished this, yesterday, so I've got to think of how to display it, where to put it, that sort of thing. So that's that. So those are my last few finished objects. So now, time to move into some works in progress. So my first work in progress is my scrappy granny square blanket, which, where have I put it? Here it is. It's in my homemade dodgy Christmassy bag, and I am using, again, leftover scraps of yarn. So these are all DK weight, and what I've decided to do, I had some cream yarn that was scrappy, so I've again doubled it up with another yarn. So I've got one DK weight yarn mixed with another DK weight yarn, and this is how it's looking. So I decided to just do a granny square and see how I get on with that, just using lots of different colours. There wasn't any particular idea in mind, as you can see probably from the colours in the middle section. I was just using scrappy yarn, and then I got to this bit and I thought, ooh, that looks really nice, and then let's go light, then dark. And now of course I'm down to just the dark one, and I have no light coloured yarn. So this will be a long-term project. I'm using a 5mm hook, not sure what brand it is, but it is like a soft touch kind of hook, and yeah, I'm just doing little clusters, if that's what you call it. I don't know what they're called, but it's a granny square basically. That's all it is, nothing difficult. And I'm just using leftover scraps of yarn for that, and I don't expect to finish this anytime soon because I expect it to be quite big to be a blanket, and the idea is that this one will be my new charity project since I finished the last one. So that is that whip. Then I have another cross stitch project. Like I said, I've been doing a lot of cross stitching lately. So I bought from, did I show you this? I think I showed you that I found online on Amazon the Historical Sampler Company, and I got their Christmas boxes pattern, which looks like that, and I have made a start on it. So I picked it up yesterday after a few days and did the second box. I'm not sure if I showed the first box in my last video, but I've done the first box, and I've forgotten to do the eye for the bird, so that needs to be done. And then I was doing this last night and kept making mistakes. Like you can see there, I've forgotten, these two are supposed to be the same. I've forgotten the feet on that, and I've not completed the top because it was really dark and I just couldn't see what I was doing, and I kept unripping this section and going back and redoing it, and I did a bit here, had to go back and redo it. So I thought it's time to put it down, but I'm going to have another go at this again today because I enjoy doing it. I'm really liking doing a box and then completing that and then moving on to the next one, and hopefully it will be done in time for Christmas. But yeah, that's what it's looking like. I'm really enjoying working on it. It's quite fun. The detail is really good. This is a 16 count Ada, so I've moved on from the Bee Bunny, which was a 14 count Ada. Forgot to mention that. And this one is 16 count Ada that I'm using. And the threads that I am using for this one are DMC threads that come with the kit, with the Bee Bunny one, I think the threads are called Madeira threads. I'm not sure, but they came with the kit, but it doesn't say specifically what the threads are. So I'm not sure that I could just buy those. But the DMC threads are with this kit. So yeah, and the stitch minder is by Denkai Designs, as I mentioned before when I showed this. So yes, so that is my cross stitch project. So I'm really enjoying that. I'm going to be doing some of that today after I finished the video. Then I moved back on to some knitting. I've been kind of flitting here and there, just so if I lose interest in, or I feel like I've done enough on one thing, I will move on to something else and pick up something completely different. And I've been enjoying the stitching at the weekends generally, because that's when I've got more daylight, and then I will kind of switch between knitting and the stitching. The crocheting, probably not so much, because I didn't really have in mind anything that I wanted to do for the crocheting. But yeah, I'm kind of switching it up with the knitting. I think the knitting's coming back a bit more now. I've stopped a little bit on socks. I've paused on the socks for now, and I'm gonna have a step back and see what I want to work on, think about what I want to work on next. So this next project is called the mermaid top. I have done this one before, and I will try and insert a picture of what it looked like, the one that I did before. But this one is the mermaid top, and it's by Rebecca Mackenzie. Can't remember what her Instagram name is. I can't remember now, but she is she has designed the mermaid top. I'll get a bit closer there. I will insert a picture of what my first mermaid top looked like. I wanted to do this pattern again because it's such an easy pattern to follow. It's like the, if you can see, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see from that, but the pattern at the top there is like old shale stitch, very much the same as what I've used in the Karen Cake blanket, so it's quite easy to do. The reason I wanted to redo this top was because the first one that I made was made out of Cascade yarns, and I found that to be very scratchy yarn, and so I wanted to try a different type of yarn for this same top, because I like the style of the top, but because of the yarn, the scratchiness of the yarn and the warmth of it, I don't wear it as much, and I want to be able to wear it. So so I thought I'd try a different yarn. So this is the yarn I'm using for this top is Drops Merino Extra Fine. That's the yarn label. I can't remember what the colour is now, but that is what the colour looks like. I'm not entirely sure about the colour against my skin. I think it may kind of wash me out a bit. I'm not sure. I don't know. I think when I ordered the yarn I was expecting something a little bit more on the pink side, but it turned out that it's kind of this, I don't even know what to call the colour, to be fair. It's an interesting colour. Not sure how it's going to look on me, but I thought I would just make it anyway, seeing as I have all the yarn here. I'll give it a go, see how it looks, because I do like the actual top. So I've got this far with the this mermaid top. It's very much plain sailing. I've got a bit of garter stitch here, and then it's very much a stocking stitch. I've got my stitch markers here to count my decreases that I'm working, and I've put these little peggy things. I think I got these from a magazine now. I think they're meant to be for people that sew, generally, for sewers, but I was getting annoyed with it going all over the place and twisting up, so I thought I would just peg them together. That's what they are, make it more comfortable to knit. And so that's just the bottom. This is the hem. It's worked from the bottom up, general stocking stitch, and then when you get to the top, then you have the pattern and the shaping. So it's plain sailing for now, and then towards the end it will become something that I have to think about a little bit more. You have options within the pattern for shaping or not shaping, which is great. And yeah, I'm looking forward to getting to the top section where I can do the details. So that is that. That's the mermaid top. I'm thinking that I might actually purchase some cotton yarn like this, the bamboo cotton, and try and make another one in a brighter colour. But we shall see. I want to get this one finished first, and I have other things on my Make 9 list, which that is actually one on my Make 9 list. I have other things on my Make 9 list that I want to do possibly before I do another mermaid top, so that's that. So lastly, let's have a look at my notes for my whips. The last thing I have for whips is another diamond painting. What did I do with it? It was here somewhere. I had it here oh, it's right in front of me. Look at that. How silly am I? So I ordered another diamond painting. This is called Dream Landscape Natural Beach Sunset. This is what it's meant to look like when it's done. Hopefully you can see that. At the moment I have done this section here. So I just completed the bottom section this morning. I'm hoping, you can see the shimmer there, I'm hoping that it will be true to the picture. It's all covered, this one's covered in a white plastic, whereas these ones were covered in a clear plastic, so I could see my progress as I went along. With this one I can't see it unless I lift up all the plastic, and I don't want to expose it all straight away to dust and fluff and stuff. So this is A4 size, which is 20 by 30 centimetres. This one, if I put it that way, is slightly bigger. I think this is probably a little bit closer to A3 size. So yeah, and then this one, so this one is 40 by 30 centimetres. Then the Relaxer Bear one is 43 by 35, the whole fabric, 43 by 35 centimetres, but the actual design is 27 by 35, because we're only talking about this bit within these lines here. So these two are pretty close in size, but the one that I'm currently working on is more like A4 size. It's quite a small print, because I wanted to see how I got on with this. This one took a while to arrive. I ordered it from the Victoria Moons website, which is apparently a UK based website, but they do actually ship from China, it seems. So it took, the delivery time was stated to be 15 to 20 days, and it took probably about 25 days for this one to arrive, because of, I mean, you can understand, because of the whole coronavirus situation, things are taking a lot longer to get through. It was a bit annoying though, because I had thought that I was ordering from a UK company and I was expecting it to be shipped within the UK and not be waiting for it to come from abroad. So yeah, it is what it is. I'm just hoping that the print turns out really nice. So far it looks really good to me, so fingers crossed. So that's it. So those are all my works in progress, my finished objects. Hope you've enjoyed seeing those. I did purchase the snap frame that comes, that I'm using for the Christmas boxes print, and this is, I've got the packaging so I can share it with you. This one is in a size 11 by 11, 11 inches by 11. That's the packaging, Siesta. It's an R&R Universal Craft frame. I'll take it off so you can see what it looks like. I was not sure whether it was going to be a good one, but then I realised that the first one I've got, which is a 9 by 9 inches that I was using for the Bee Bunny cross stitch, is an R&R frame too, and they're quite good. I like them. These little things just snap off. This is a little bit stiffer because it's new, and it holds your fabric in place. Oh dear, this one's quite difficult to get off. Okay, so it consists of tubes. So that's what the frame looks like. It's got these joins. All of it came in the package. They come undone. Well, it comes, geez, I'm going to look like a bit of an idiot now. There we go. It comes in pipes and connectors like that, and you just put it all together when you want to use it. You put your fabric around it, Ada, whatever, and you just snap these in place, and it holds your fabric. And you just do that in the 4 places and it holds it. It's difficult to try and show you without seeing what I'm doing, so I think you get the idea. So yeah, so I got that and it's just the right size for this design, so I'm happy with that. Can't remember the price for that. I'm not sure. If I remember, I'll put it up on screen. Also, I picked up from Amazon some floss bobbins. It was a floss bobbin kit, so it comes with the floss bobbins. I think there's about 100 pieces in here, and then you've got the wire rings, and then there was a winder, which is not quite, I haven't really been using the winder because I don't have anything secure to hold it to, so it just wobbles when I wind, so there's no point. So yeah, so I got those because I'm cross-stitching more, and I think I'm going to be doing more cross-stitching in the future, so I thought they might come in handy. So yeah, so that is those. That is all my incoming. I do have a couple of things on order from Wool Warehouse, yarn wise, that I can use for my Make 9 list. I'm slowly working through my Make 9 list. For those of you that don't know, my Make 9 list is just a list of 9 items that I want to make this year, pattern wise. And all of them are knitted, I think, this time round. So yeah, so I'm slowly working through that list. And hopefully by the end of the year I will have all the things that I have wanted to make done. So the last thing I wanted to do was go through the magazines. So if you look on my Ravelry page, I've tried to add the magazines onto the page so that onto my patterns page, so you can have a look at the patterns that are available. This was brought to my attention by Victoria from Victoria Knits. She let me know that with the magazines I can click on the link within Ravelry for the particular magazine, add it to my pattern page, and it will show for that particular issue which patterns are available in that magazine. So the feature pattern is the Hedgehog Cuties, then you've got hats, toys in this magazine. Let's see, maybe if I turn the camera around I can do a quick look at it for you. Hold on a sec. Okay, so the first magazine is this Love Crochet magazine. It's October 2018, and it should show in the front what the patterns are. Cute pencil case, tapestry mitts, quirky homeware, cozy slipper boots, pumpkin bag, the cute little hedgehogs there, beret, cushion, hat. If you check my Ravelry page, my patterns, this issue should be in there and you'll be able to see the patterns in more detail. Check that out. So that's the first one, and if you're not into crocheting, then I've got the knitting one. This is Simply Knitting, issue 187. Does it say what month? Can't even see that. Hold on. No, doesn't say the month for this one. Simply Knitting magazine, 132 design ideas it says. Let's see what it shows you. So in this one, for the knitting one, you have this cardigan, jumper, nice little knitted bag, lightweight top, baby's jumper, a toy, another top, that's what I've flagged there. Looks like a teapot cozy, blanket, and some socks. So if you're interested in either of these two magazines, if you can, if you're on Ravelry, check out the patterns page for Ravelry for issue 187 of the Simply Knitting one, which is on my pattern page, and Love Crochet, the October 2018 version, to see what patterns are in there. And then if you're interested in receiving one of these magazines, then in the comments section of this video, leave a comment that includes the word bananas, and I will choose somebody to receive one of these magazines. So I'll choose two people, one to receive one magazine, one to receive the other one. Okay, that is it. Okay, so it's probably quite a long video now, so I'm going to end there. I don't really have anything else to share with you anyway, so I hope you've enjoyed seeing what I've been working on, what's getting me through these difficult times during lockdown, and what's keeping me busy. I hope you are safe and well, and your family are too. If you like this video, give me some thumbs up. Let me know in the comments section below, and again, if you want to win one of these magazines. If you want one of these magazines to come to you, then leave the word bananas, leave a comment with the word bananas in the comment section below this video, so I know that you're interested in these magazines. Yeah, that is it from me. Stay safe and see you in probably a month's time. I forgot to mention that, didn't I? So generally I tend to record a video on a monthly basis because I'm a busy person, as I know a lot of people are, and I know that I'm not the only channel out there that does crafting that you might want to watch. So I think that 1 month gives you ample time to watch my little video and other people that you like to watch here on YouTube. So yeah, and that gives me a chance to watch other people as well, because I like seeing what other people are making as well. So yeah, that is it from me. Thank you so much for joining me. Do take care and see you next time.